Is that Volvo gravy?
What's up, guys? It's Drifts and Lifts here. Welcome back to the Drifts and Lifts Epic Volvo Drift YouTube channel. Click that subscribe button because we got some sort of gravy going on today. Alright, so today I got Edna in the garage. As you can see, she is pulled apart pretty badly. I got the rear axle out. So I'm just doing some work on this because I broke an axle shaft last time I went to the river and did that funny video where my buddies drank beer. If you guys haven't seen that, go check it out. It's pretty funny. We just take this car off jumps and really high-speed rally maneuvers, and they all sit in it while they try to hold twisted teas in their hands and drink them. But yeah, so basically what we're doing today, this axle that was in there kept snapping axle shafts. So the bearings actually were really compromised, the ring and pinion bearings. So I'm just gonna say this axle is trash in general, and because there was slop in the ring and pinion bearings, I'm gonna say that was also a factor of the axle snapping easier. So we're gonna scrap this axle. I picked up this 410 diff, so this is actually out of a 16 valve automatic car. I had it laying around at Jake's house. This has just been stored for a while. So I picked this up from Jake's, and this should be a good upgrade in gear ratio over this one, because I'm not positive what this is. It could be like a 355 or a 373. This 410 should make a good difference, especially with our bigger tires. It'll give us a little more low end, and it'll rip better in second gear, because this thing in second gear it would literally get up to like 130 kilometers an hour. So what we're going to be doing is swapping this in Edna right now, and I got to do a couple things before I do that, just because I'm missing a couple bolts. I think this was like a parts axle in the yard for a bit. But all we really got to do, I'm not going to run an e-brake because I had a huge pain in the ass getting this e-brake off. I'm not going to show you a how-to of how to do this job because it's actually a huge pain in the ass. I would say this axle swap is more of a pain than a motor swap. But if you look here, this is the e-brake, and this pin that was right in here, so that's supposed to punch out, that actually is seized in there. So I just cut it. I'm like, I don't really need an e-brake in this car anyways, for what we're doing with it. So what we're gonna do is go pick up some diff oil from Lordco. That's the only thing I need. I need a drain plug for this as well. Then we're gonna put it back in Edna, and we're gonna go take it for a rip. We're gonna see how much power it has in relation to the gear ratio, how much kind of more get up and go it has. So I got a bit of work ahead of me. I'm gonna mess with this, and then, all right. So one thing I should mention is this axle was actually out of the old diff. I think I've broken 3 axle shafts in total in this whole axle housing in this car. So the funny thing was I swapped this axle in, and the only stuff we did was took it to the river for that one time for the beer video. And as you can see, literally just from that, look how twisted this axle is. So right about here, it just gets crazy twisted. And if you look closely, it's actually already starting to crack. So that's really sketchy. I have heard about people drilling down into this hole here and drilling a little bit farther in. My concern is I don't know any proof of that being effective, and I don't want to try it and make the axle weaker and just completely snap these right off the bat when I'm trying to go have some fun. So if someone can give me like a explanation of how this would make it stronger, or someone who actually has done that, that used to have an axle shaft breaking problem and now that was the solution, let me know in the comments if you actually think that's going to work. But for now I'm going to hold off from that because I just don't understand how that could work. But people say that it gives it more room to collapse on itself, something like that. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you have any info on that, because this is the Achilles heel of off-roading these cars, these damn axle shafts. Once I get it done, we're gonna go do some fun stuff. So hope you guys like the video. Alrighty guys, so the 410 diff is in now. A little bit of a pain in the ass job. Not too bad though. It just took me a day of messing around. I actually just took it for a rip up the road, and you can tell it's definitely got a little bit more pep. It definitely fits these big tires a lot better than the 373 did. So yeah, I got my roommate Zach, and he's coming out. And right now I'm just gonna take the steering wheel out of Miss Huff and put it in Edna so I can get +2 driver skill. All right, let's pull the old Momo off. All right, so we got the Momo in Edna now. I'm just gonna drive straight down the road and make sure I put that on the spline center. All right, so for a harsh beating sesh, you should always check your oil, at least in this car, because it leaks oil extremely bad. Okay, it's got oil on it. It's dirty, but this thing leaks so bad that I literally just keep topping it up. I don't do oil changes. It's a red block, you don't need to. All right, guys, so this is my roommate, Zach.
What up?
He, I guess he used to live in New York. Whereabouts in New York did you live, Zach?
Story of Queens, baby.
So if you're from New York and you watch this channel, send a comment, put it down there, and yeah. So, Zach, we've been for one drift sesh in the rain that one time. Was that like fairly intense? Like
fairly intense, middle of the night. I don't know how you can see where you're going, but
yeah,
it's a good time.
Yeah, it was a good time. So we're gonna do some gravel stuff. We're just gonna go up a mountain and basically see what kind of fun we can have. So let's start this beast up. Oh, she's chunky. This thing gets really poor fuel economy. All right, so what the plan is we're gonna go up this road. You guys may have seen me do this road before. It's a really good rally road. So once we get to the top, there's some off-road stuff, and then we'll try to go up that and make it like all the way up the mountain, and Edna hopefully will survive and we'll have a good time. Big meaty sliggities.
Ooh, that gutter butter.
Okay. All right, so with the 410 diff, also this car, I was gonna mention you guys, it feels really slow right now. I don't know why. Like I pin it and it feels like it doesn't have any power. So I just tightened the throttle cable, and the throttle cable is actually really loose up at the throttle body there. So that might have given me a little more juice. Maybe the throttle body wasn't opening all the way, but we'll see what happens. when you beat them hard, they start to steam from places. Alright guys, so that was a lot of fun. It was kind of funny because the exhaust is cut off right around here. I was starting to, as we went up that run, I was starting to smell some weird things because it's probably the exhaust burning stuff underneath the car, but... Someone's popping popcorn. Alrighty guys, so that was really fun. This is the next day. I'm just finishing off this video in the garage here. So the new 410 diff was a little bit of an upgrade. It wasn't anything too crazy because I think the stock diff on this before was like a 373 or a 391. So it's not a huge jump. When I did the swap from the 331 to the 410 in Miss Huff, that was a huge difference. This is a little more mild, but it does actually rip pretty good. And for what we're doing with this car, it's plenty of get up and go, really. We don't really need any more, and it'd be cool to like turbo this car or something like that, but at the end of the day, we're aiming for reliability, so I can keep on beating this car without having to fix it so much, because every time I bring it out, it seems like I have to fix something. So this was good. It didn't break on us this time. It got us home. It's all gravy. So things for the channel, guys. We got a drift event tomorrow, actually. Yeah, so I'm going to be taking Miss Huff to that. Still have Sam in the garage here. I apologize, guys. I've been really lazy. You know, sometimes you lose motivation for shit, but we're getting it back, and I'm super stoked because after this weekend's drift event, the next weekend I'm going up to the island for Pumpkin Smash. And actually, I'm wearing a Pumpkin Smash t-shirt right now. This is from 2017. I went there and actually drifted in it. So I'm not going to be taking a vehicle to that drift event because it is on Vancouver Island and you have to take a ferry. And if I wanted to take my truck and my trailer, that's about already $450 in trailer, or sorry, in ferry costs. Along with, you know, it's a 2-day event, so you got to hotel and all that stuff. It's about $1,000 weekend. I can't really afford that right now. If you guys want to help out with funding this channel, the link to the Drifts and Lifts store where all my merchandise is in the description of this video. Great way to support the channel and kind of, you know, keep the money flowing so I can fuck with these projects. But yeah, ITBs I'm going to be picking up from Tent Shed Trev, and that is going to be a go. So my thing that I've really been thinking about lately is putting a bumper skin on Miss Huff and putting a trunk lid, straightening out the rear end a little bit, maybe kind of tweaking the frame rail so it's better, it's more straight basically. And then we'll paint the doors so it's not quite like tire marks everywhere. I'll put some windows in it, and I will put headlights and taillights. And then I think I'm going to throw some insurance on it and probably film some really sick videos once we get that ITB set up in there. So I'll be taking that like snowboarding, and it's almost snowboarding season, guys. That's crazy. I'm pretty stoked. I love snowboarding. And one of my favorite parts of snowboarding is driving up the mountain to go snowboarding when there's a bunch of snow on the roads, because snow drifting is really fun. I love that shit. Alright guys, so I think I'll leave you there. Like and subscribe. for Volvo feces. Peace out.